Hello, I'm Nesta Adkins of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a look at the holiday season and student drivers here at AHS. Our very own Isaiah Brown sat down with AHS English teacher extraordinaire, Mrs. Heather Landstrom, and senior Kate Stiller to talk about holidays. Take it away, Isaiah.
Hello, I'm Isaiah Brown of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at the holiday season and how it's viewed from a student's perspective. We will be talking with Mrs. Landstrom and talking with Kate Stiller to get a Hawkeye's view, but first, let's take a closer look at what AHS has to say.
Hello, I'm Logan Timmons of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a closer look at the holiday season. We took to the halls of AHS to see what some students had to say on the topic. We're here with Seth McCann. And did you feel there was a lot of enthusiasm in this year's Halloween?
I would say that there probably is because, I was walking around kind of trick-or-treating as an 18-year-old, through Katanning with some of my friends, and there seemed to be a lot of people walking around, a lot of people going up door to door, a lot of really great costumes, so I feel like it was pretty lively throughout the whole entirety of Katanning. I don't know about many of the other places, but I can say at least through Katanning there was a good bit of children around.
Today we're here with Isaiah Brown. Did you feel that there was a lot of enthusiasm in this year's Halloween?
Not really compared to when I was a child and stuff, because I would go out trick-or-treating and I'd go block to block and get candy, and I feel like I'd have fun with it because all my friends were there. But this year I was more prepared with the costume, I felt like, but it also wasn't as fun. I just had to sit there and just hand out candy with this costume on. I was just like, it's kind of boring.
We're here with Devin Hayes. Now Devin, when do you start celebrating Christmas? Before or after Thanksgiving?
Before Thanksgiving, definitely, on November 1st.
We also wanted to see what a few teachers had to say on the matter. We're here with Mr. Swanson. And do you feel like there was something different about this year's Halloween?
Yeah, I do actually. I didn't really feel it this year, and I think that was kind of across the board a little bit. I know my family and I, we usually decorate and go all out. We didn't really decorate this year. Even the kids trick-or-treating was kind of a last-minute throw together kind of thing. Just kind of came and went before you even realized it.
Right. Today, we're here with Mrs. Lorgan of AHS. And Mrs. Lorgan, do you have any kids?
Yes, I do.
And how has the Christmas spirit changed?
I think it makes everything more exciting. It brings more energy into the season, and everything is it's just better. It's just more exciting.
Today, we're here with Mrs. Tomquitz. And what is your favorite part of the holiday season?
Well, shopping. Shopping's my number one thing, and I'm always looking for good deals. And then when it's all over, I take off the day after Christmas and I go on vacation to the beach, and that's what I'll be doing again this year.
There you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawks Beak. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Logan. For those of you joining us, I'm Isaiah Brown of AHS-TV, and now I'm joined with Mrs. Landstrom and Kate Stiller. Miss Landstrom, what do you like best about the holidays? That's including Halloween to Christmas.
Well, for me personally, I love the holiday season. That would include all the way up from Halloween through Christmas.
Yeah.
I would say I find that there's just so many positive experiences. Fun, there's a lot of fun to be had. Just within the community, I know with my kids, different things that they're doing to celebrate Halloween, trick or treat, they have to dress up at school, and then Thanksgiving comes around, everybody's getting ready. I personally am the person that likes to decorate and get ready for Christmas on Veterans Day. I know that's a hot debate.
That's like my mom does.
Yep, I love it. I love my warm lights, so I'm all about setting everything up.
Yeah.
But I know people wait till Thanksgiving. I kind of grew up that way. My mom would wait till after Thanksgiving, but I just kind of embrace it all. And I just think that there's a lot of joy that is spread and shared throughout the holiday season. So.
Yeah, same. I truly feel like that's one of my biggest things is the way it makes me feel. I feel like it's really joyous, and I love just the holiday seasons as well.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Kate Stiller, what about you?
Personally, I love the holiday season because I just like to get together with family. I'm the youngest of my family, so all my cousins are out at college.
Same. Yeah, same.
And so now when they come back, it's just a good time. We're going to my aunt's this year for Thanksgiving, and then probably my aunt's again for Christmas. So I'm excited.
That's pretty cool because my family is coming back home too as well. My brother is going to come. I don't know about my sister, but my family's coming from Delaware, so hopefully it'll be a good time. But thank you too.
Yeah.
And Miss Landstrom, how does the holiday season now differ from how it used to be, or how it is now, or how it used to be when you were younger?
For me, I think now, obviously being older than you guys
Yeah.
and being a mom, there is a definite change
Mhm.
as to how the holiday season is. I mean, I agree with you guys. I love the family time. We have that, you know, between my family
Yeah.
and my husband's family. But definitely, I think the aspect of, for me, my grandparents have passed away. So when we used to go to my grandparents' houses and be with all of my cousins and everybody, we've all gotten older. We all have our own kids. So now it's different. Like we
Yeah,
go to my
yeah.
parents, we go to my husband's
Uh-huh.
parents, and it's our siblings and our kids. And so that's
like-
a change.
Yeah, just like a complete different.
Yeah,
vibe.
and we had to. At first, it was different. Now this is the first year my grandma just passed away in August,
Yeah.
so that's a change for us. But I know we just kind of creating those memories and kind of fostering that for our children so that they enjoy going to their grandparents' house. So it's a little bit different, but I love it as a mother. I'm kind of enjoying it through their eyes and giving them that magic and that fun to be with their
Yeah,
family.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you. And what about you? Have anything changed for you over the past years?
Definitely. I think like when I was younger, it was more about like getting the gifts and like playing with my cousins, and now it's more like I enjoy like gifting the people. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'm definitely a
Yeah.
gift
Yeah.
giver, and I'd say I'm a very good one too. But I just like to be able to like do stuff that doesn't really like as a child. It more like revolves around you, like the holiday season and like what your parents like take you to do if they take you to go see Santa or whatnot. And now it's like I help out with Leo Club. Like we do the magical night, we do trick or treat night, and so now it's more like I'm helping to make other kids'
You're giving
holiday
giving
experience
back.
good.
Yeah. That's thank you. And Miss Landstrom, to start on the topic of Halloween, we're on the parents more or less strict or about trick or treating, or what? How do you feel about that?
I honestly can't say I tell a difference. I mean, whenever I was younger and I trick or treated, at first my parents would take me around and then I would just, you know, run around myself with friends of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now, I obviously take my children through our neighborhood, although they have started telling me this year that they don't need me, that they can just kind of run and go by themselves, but they're 6 and 8. So they do. So I still, you know, kind of walk, but they definitely run. So I didn't, I guess, notice a big difference in whether it's changed. I don't know if you guys have, but for me personally, I can't say from whenever I was a child to what I'm doing with my children has.
I feel like always when I was younger, it was definitely if I wasn't with my parents, it'd be with my friend's parent, and there's a parent at least going with us. Yeah. And Kate, have you ever went trick-or-treating by yourself? Or?
I did when I started to get older, but my parents were a little bit more strict and I wasn't really allowed to go as much as like other kids were.
Yeah.
I didn't really start going until I was like in the 4th grade.
Okay.
And so I did eventually go by myself, but it definitely took a while.
Yeah. That is different. Okay. Thank you. Miss Landstrom, growing up, were the Halloween costumes more generic or original than today?
Personally, I feel like growing up for me, when I was younger, my mom definitely created more, and I would say they were not super creative as what we see today, that people have all of these, you know, ideas and things that they put in. I mean, we would use like a sheet as a ghost and put, you know, and cut out the holes.
Yeah.
But then I feel like as I got older and I was more vocal about what I wanted to be, I remember being like a cat and a princess and things like that, the typical. But definitely, I think the holiday is more amped up now. I feel like people very much get into it of all ages, and they really think about the concepts of their costumes, and maybe too just the access of having social media and having all of these online shops. I didn't have that growing up, so it was, you know, if you went to the store, what did they have? That was what was available, or else you made it. So I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot to be said for the creativity that people put into them and what I see today.
I feel like another thing too is like the quality of the costume, because like funnily, I had to wear a princess costume this year, as you probably all saw, and
yes, we did.
it was like very nice quality, like very well made and built, but it was like my mom's when she was like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
so it's like
totally
really
different.
All right, and Kate Stiller, what did you dress up as for Halloween this year?
I was Glinda the Good Witch for the night at the school, so it was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Moving on to Thanksgiving. What's your favorite meal? Both of you, Annie.
My favorite meal is probably, I like ham on Thanksgiving. Might be a little controversial, but I do. It's just what my family has always done. So.
Okay. And what about you?
Well, we do turkey and ham, but I am definitely more the ham eater. But I love the stuffing and the pumpkin pie.
Okay.
And I have went all in.
I love stuffing and pumpkin pie.
I know.
Too, so that's great.
That's like where I am. But my grandma, I have kind of taken on creating her recipes. So that's like my thing. That's what I bring to the family Thanksgivings is the stuffing and the pies, and I love it.
Okay. Kate, after Thanksgiving Day, what do? Do you like to go Black Friday shopping?
Yes, I go Black Friday shopping every year. My parents own a business, and so when I was younger, we would always like do a banquet for like we have a race series, and we would go out, and my dad would make us all take a cart, and we'd all have like 3 computers,
that's great.
TVs. It was crazy. Everybody was
so
like
cool.
getting yelled at. He'd get heated, an item wouldn't be there. But now I just kind of go with my friends. Me and my friend Natalie have went together for like the past several years now.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think I
shop.
might do is just go out with my friends, see if I can get something. And what about you?
So I always would go Black Friday shopping. I loved it. I grew up, like my dad was a hunter, so he would go out that day and get set up his deer stand and everything. And my grandpa would take my mom, my sister, my aunt, my grandma, all of us to either like Monroeville or Westmoreland Mall. And then I found over the years, I would start going with, like when I was your age and driving, you know, with my friends. And then in my 20s, my husband, we would go out. And I do notice, though, now that I have children, and then of course they shifted the times where people were going at like 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving. I definitely stopped going out as much just because of the online shopping. It was easier for me to order online than to go out in the middle of the night. But I definitely love Black Friday shopping. I'm kind of missing it this year because we're traveling on on Friday. So we're going down to Massanutten, Virginia, but I'll be missing Black Friday shopping.
Okay. What are you guys doing on there?
We're actually changing it up this year. So with my family, we're celebrating Thanksgiving down there at a ski resort. So we're kind of skipping Thanksgiving there on Thursday. We're just going to my husband's family's dinner Thursday and then taking everything down for the weekend to Massanutten. They have a water park. Like the kids will enjoy it, you know, light shows, all that stuff.
Okay, that's cool. And Kate, and on the topic of Christmas, what is your favorite Christmas movie and why?
My favorite Christmas movie is definitely National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I just think it's really funny. Aunt Bethany brings a lot. Last year, me and my friends did a party where we all were like a different character from like a holiday movie, and I was Cousin Eddie. So it's just a good movie. I can watch it a ton of times.
I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite movie. So, and you.
I have to agree. That would be one of my favorites, along with Elf. I like the happy comedic experience that you get like with the holiday cheer. So that's like my classic. And then I feel like my kids, they like Elf. So we kind of pull those both in every year.
All right. And Kate, as a teenager, do you feel like you still have the Christmas spirit?
I think that I definitely do. I listened to Christmas music on my way to school this morning, and I don't know. I think like the fact that now like I can kind of do stuff on my own, like whereas like a kid, like I'd always have to have like my mom help me like do everything. It's like now that I can like drive, I have more independence, and like I'm going and buying people Christmas gifts on my own. I'm going like decorating stuff, and then of course me and my mom always decorate our family tree together.
I feel like that's what we always try to get into, but I feel like my brother being gone, my mom will never let me set up the Christmas tree or anything until my brother's home, until we can do it as a family. So
I get that. I can see that.
And as an adult, do you feel like you still have Christmas spirit?
I absolutely do. I think it's even better now as an adult and as a mom, like, because I just want to give my children that magic and kind of incorporate as much as I can to the decorating, to the cookie baking. We're taking them to the Polar Express this year. We've never done that, and they don't know it's a surprise. So yeah, I'm all about it. The Christmas music, I love it, and I want them to love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. And Ms. Landstrom, to wrap things up, what is your favorite activity to do over Christmas break?
On Christmas break, so I would still stay with like truly the Christmas activity of I really enjoy the candlelight service on
Yeah,
Christmas Eve
yeah.
at church. I just
That's
love
a big
that.
thing. That's a big thing in my family.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It's just so calm and peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And then truly now I feel like waking up Christmas morning and seeing my kids and their excitement, there's just something totally different than being like you guys and the kids and waking up and then just spending the day relaxing with family. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a kid, my perspective is it's great. It's a good old time, and then also like being able to relax and chill with your family is pretty nice too. So, and what about you?
Probably my favorite thing too. I have to agree with like the candlelight service at church. I love that, and then just like being able to spend time with friends and family without having to like work around school or work around their work. It's just really nice just to get together and celebrate the holidays with each other.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Miss Landstrom and Kate Stiller,
you.
for joining us today to get a Hawkeye's view on the holiday season. Until next time, Isaiah Brown of AHS-TV, keep on soaring.
We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer-lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star and who can change the world of a fifth grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
And we're back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm your humble hostess, Nesta Adkins, and next we're going to take a look at student drivers here at AHS. Let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Bella Ayers of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at driver safety. I'm joined by Caden Hankey and Maddox Wise to talk about arrivals and dismissals for student drivers. Do you guys have overall, in your opinion, smooth arrivals and like getting to school?
Oh yeah, I would say that the most kind of like, not even an issue, it's just more kind of getting around people is the hill up to the school, getting around the buses that are there. But even then, you know, they're slow, I'm quick. There's no real issue with it.
All right, and Caden, how's your arrival?
Yeah, really smooth, except for whenever you're going up that hill and the buses, they can get in your way. And then there's people who aren't going to the school and are in the other lane, and you can't get past them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of stuck between where am I trying to go to get in front of the buses or waste 5 minutes behind them.
Yeah. All right, well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing details of your arrivals to school with us. Now let's discuss your dismissals, but first, let's take a closer look at how faculty and students feel about driving in general.
Hello, I'm Mason Bowser of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a closer look at students and if they are driving safely behind the wheel. We took to the halls of AHS to see what students had to say. I'm here with Kate Stiller, asking her some questions about safe driving in our parking lot. Do you consider yourself a safe driver?
I do consider myself a safe driver. I think that I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm always trying to pay attention.
What are some of the more problematic issues that you see among teen drivers?
I would say not paying attention, texting while driving. People get too caught up in what music they're playing in their car. I just see people like not paying attention at all, not focused on the road when they need to be, and they're looking at everything else but the road.
In your opinion, do you think that students drive safely and responsibly on campus here at AHS?
I do not. I see kids blow stop signs in the morning, like in the parking lot while kids are walking into school, and along with the parents too that are in the parking lot. I think it's very dangerous and definitely something needs to be done about it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I'm here with
Officer Mike Kapustik.
And I'm going to ask him some questions about safe driving in the parking lot at the school. What are some of the issues that you see with student drivers on campus?
Most of the issues, most on-campus drivers are pretty safely driving. Some get a little wild once they hit the gates and go out Buffington, but you're off campus and you're at the mercy of the police out there.
What are some things students and staff can do to improve our dismissal?
One of the things is our priorities will be letting the buses out. So when I'm directing traffic out there, that's going to be my priority. If you get caught at the intersection, I'm sorry, but buses take priority. So letting the buses out and letting them through, that would help speed things along.
Is there a difference in how students drive on campus in the mornings versus dismissal in the afternoon?
I don't see a whole lot in the mornings because they're getting dropped off and parking. So and there's cones out there to slow people down. In the afternoon, I don't see a whole lot. Like I said, the priority is the buses. And as long as they pay attention to the traffic directions I'm giving them, we should be all right.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Well, there you have it, folks, straight from the Hawkspeak. Back to you in the studio.
For those of you just joining us, I'm Bella Ayers of AHS-TV, and I'm joined by Caden Hankey and Maddox Wise. So we're going to shift our gear towards the end of the day. So do you think it is more stressful to leave the school than enter it?
Yeah, I mean, entering the school, you have like probably half an hour, a little bit more window of people, pulling up to the school. Leaving, everyone's trying to get out around the same time.
Yep. Caden, how do you feel?
I agree. In the morning, it's much more like an individual. It's your job to get to school. But then whenever you're leaving, it's everybody all at once working together to get out. And a lot of the people here really want to get out. So you kind of have to work together and be careful and make sure that some other person isn't being stupid and you hit them.
Everyone just wants to leave at the end of the day. So Maddox, have you ever had any personal issues or troubles leaving the school?
Personally, no. I mean, I've obviously never been in any accidents at the school. The biggest issues I've had is just, needing to wait. And that's just, it's a couple minutes out of your day. It's not a huge deal.
All right. Caden, have you had issues before?
If I see that there's a line that goes past my car, I sit in my car and scroll through TikTok for 10 minutes. And by that time, the buses are gone and everybody else is gone and I can just go about my way.
Yep, that's a good decompressing time. And when you're leaving, do you ever get stuck behind the buses? And if so, how does this affect the activities you have after school?
I get stuck behind the buses, I would say, on occasion. And as far as activities outside of school, most of my activities I have directly after school at the school. So it doesn't really affect those activities as much. On occasion, I might have work at 4 or something, but then, it's a couple hours out. I give myself that time to, if I get stuck behind the buses, it's not a huge deal for me.
All right, awesome. Does this affect you leaving, Caden?
Anything that I have of doing after school has at least like a half-hour wait. So my job, I usually start at 3. School ends at 2:20. I have a 40-minute wait to get to work. So the buses being there or not, it's just kind of a little bit of a pain in the side. Other than that, you just gotta wait.
Yeah, and while it can be painful, some care, some don't, but it does affect others' activities. So when you think about it, do you think that bus dismissal should be changed or pushed back?
No, because at the end of the day, you're caring more about the individual than the group. You have to remember that the buses, they have way more people than any individual car. You have to remember that there are students on the buses trying to get to stuff just as much as driving people.
All right, Ken, how do you feel?
I completely agree. I don't think it needs to be changed because the buses have people on there that need to get to their activities, and their activities are just as important as the people who are driving in cars.
All right. And as a student yourself, do you think that there's a specific reason why everyone rushes to beat the buses?
Well, at the end of the day, in, the time that we live in, people value their time. A lot of people, especially, high school seniors, are trying to get stuff done as soon as possible. They're always, at least for me, I'm always involved in so many clubs, so many different activities, and I have a, job on the side. People have stuff that they need to do, and taking 10 minutes out of someone's day, while it doesn't, impede that too much, it feels like it's just a waste of time.
All right, what are your opinions, Caden?
I agree. I have a lot of stuff going on after school. Every day feels like I got something. But also, it makes sense that people want to run out of here because they're here from 7:30 to 2:30 doing stuff that most of them probably don't really care about. So they just want to, they're tired of being here and they want to get out and do something that they enjoy more. So it makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. And with the parents who are picking up their children, do you find that they abide by the rules or no?
I would say in general, again, yeah, I would say most parents they don't cause any major issue. I will say one issue that I see occasionally, it's not a huge deal, is parents will pull out before their kids are in the car and then stop the car to let the kid in, which, it holds up the process a little bit, but I don't think it is a major problem.
All right, and Kaden?
I agree. No matter what happens, getting out of school will always be a slow process. So one parent not following the rules all too much doesn't really slow it down a lot. It's just kind of
Yeah. All right. And with the leaving of the school for teachers, parents, new drivers, do you think that the zippering method or kind of just taking turns when leaving causes a backup or a feud during getting out?
I would say that the zippering method is probably the best thing that we have because it would be so much more chaotic if people were trying to butt in, just trying to force their way out instead of knowing, okay, just one car has to go and then I can go versus, trying to use kind of like a force to trying to push their way out.
Right, and I know how on one specific side of the parking lot, sometimes the teachers and the students don't do it. So do you think that causes issues?
I actually didn't know that. I park on the other side of the parking lot, but I could 100% see how that would cause issues. I think that the zippering method, at least, on a small scale environment like the school, it works pretty much perfectly on the side that I'm on. And I think that people breaking that, not only are they holding up the entire process, but they're also just kind of breaking a silent agreement that I think the students and the teachers have to have.
Yeah, right. And Kaden?
I've never seen the zippering method not work. Every time that I have wanted to leave the school, it's always been one car, then the next, like a 1-2, 1-2. And if someone were to break it, or if you said on the other side of the parking lot, they don't do it, then it's like this whole line of cars, and then maybe somebody gets to pull out, and then another whole line. And that just causes a much bigger holdup than if you were just to do the zippering method.
Yeah, I think it's effective and it's fair. And lastly, what do you think that we could do to help the school have a smoother dismissal process?
I would say for a smoother dismissal process, for the low-level individuals, just use your head sometimes. I see a lot of drivers just trying to get out as fast as possible, and that's how you get those parking lot accidents. And I would say, probably a decent bit of accidents are those just rushing out parking lot accidents. And just from my personal experience, I've been nearly clipped a couple times just from cars just flying by trying to be the first ones out.
All right, what about you, Kaden?
I don't really think there's much that you can do to make it smoother. I think it's pretty smooth as it is right now. If you get stuck behind the buses, it is a little slow, but it is what it is. You just got to deal with it.
All right. And thank you to Kaden Hankey and Maddox Wise for joining us today to get the Hawks view on driving to and from school. Until next time, I'm Bella Ayers of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.
Well, that's our show for this week. Best of the Nest is produced by the TV production students of Armstrong High School. And as always, we'd like to thank WIUP-TV for airing this episode. Until next time, from our nest to yours, have a great week.